Hi everyone! For this sew along, we'll be making a serendipity bonfire with a pocket and hood. Begin by placing your pocket wrong side up. We're going to fold the pocket opening so that they're wrong sides together. I do use double-sided hem tape, but if you don't have any, you'll just need to press your openings in and then pin them down. After you've done this, you'll take it to your machine and top stitch. Now that we've top stitched our pocket openings, we'll finish preparing the pocket so we can attach it to our bodice. I like beginning by pressing my recently top stitched pocket openings so that they are nice and crisp. You'll then fold the remaining raw edges wrong sides together 1/4 inch. Of course, I'll use my handy dandy Wonder Tape, but you can press your edges and use pins or clips to keep them in place. So let's attach our pocket to our bodice. You'll see I've got my front bodice folded so that it is wrong sides together, and I've got my pocket folded so that it is right sides together. You'll use your pattern piece to mark your pocket placement, and you'll see I didn't have to mark it because I had cut it so that it would match my pattern on my fabric. But you will go ahead and align it to where it's supposed to go on the bodice, and either use Wonder Tape, double-sided hem tape, pins, or actually you can't use clips here, so either Wonder Tape or pins to keep it on your bodice. After you do that, you'll take it to your machine and stitch the top portion, the bottom sides, and the bottom, and then the just the bottom. Basically, the portions that you just folded so that they would be wrong sides together. And now that our pocket is attached, I've laid my front bodice right side up. I'll take my back bodice and match the shoulders so that they are right sides together. You're just going to pin or clip them here and then take them to your machine and stitch. Alright, so now I have sewn my shoulder seams. As you can see, I have not yet stitched my side seams. So we will go ahead and mark the placement of the beginning of our split hem. The pattern recommends 13 inches from the bottom of the back bodice. You can do 13 inches or whatever your preference is, but go ahead and using a pin or a clip or a fabric marker or even clipping, mark the beginning of your split hem. Go ahead and do that on both sides of the back bodice. So now that I've got the location of my split hem marked, what I like to do is, of course, with double-sided hem tape, Wonder tape, whatever you want to call it, I like to go ahead and put it down my raw edges. So not only is it a 1/4 inch, so it makes it really easy to not have to press that raw edge so that it's wrong sides together. You just fold it over and it sticks. It also makes it easier for me when I am actually stitching the side seams to know exactly where to stop. Of course, you know, a pin would do the same thing, but since I am going to use the Wonder tape anyways, I go ahead and do this first. As you can see, I have stitched from my sleeve down to the beginning of my split hem. I will now clip right at the top of where my split hem begins, a 1/4 inch in. And now I'll just remove, you know, my the backing of my hem tape and go ahead and fold it over. If you're not using the tape, then you can just use your use an iron and press that raw edge in a 1/4 inch. Now that your edges are folded in and pressed nicely, you will take your Serendipity to your sewing machine and top stitch beginning at the bottom, working your way up, going across and down the other side. And now literally the most time-consuming part is done, the split hem. So now take your hoods and place them right sides together. You'll do this for both the main and the lining piece and stitch from that top to the back. After you've sewn your hoods, you'll have two, a main and a lining. In my case, I use the same fabric. So now place them right sides together, pin or clip them at the center seam, and you will be pinning or clipping the front of your hood. After you're done pinning or clipping it, take it to your machine and stitch. So now that I've stitched my hoods together, you can see here's my front and then my necklines below. I will turn them right side out, and then I will go back to my serger and serge the bottom, which is the neckline, just because it makes it easier when you are going to actually attach it to the bodice. You only have to worry about 2 pieces of fabric rather than 3 shifting or moving. So here's my hood, as you can see, I have stitched the bottom. If you are doing a cowl or a neckband, you'll do the same thing. And with the hood, you do want to overlap the front by 1 inch. So once again, I use my Wonder tape here. You can just take it to your machine and baste it, but I definitely do recommend either using tape or basting it so that it does not shift when you go to attach it to your bodice. So after you've basted or taped the front overlap of 1 inch, you're going to want to find the 1/4 points of your hood. This makes it easier to attach it to your bodice because you'll also find the quarter points of the neckline and then just match those up. After you have matched your quarter points up, you're just going to take it to your machine and stitch. After you've attached your hood, neckband, or cowl, the last thing to do is hem your sleeves and your bottom raw edge.